Hello, my name is Philip Kedge and I am the Director of the McKenzie Friend UK network. I'm a retired Police Chief Inspector and I've been a McKenzie Friend since 2012, and in my blogs all my opinions and views are entirely my own. And today I'm going to talk about the secret of how to talk to Cafcass, which is crucially important. When you go through child arrangements, before you get to a final hearing, there are 4 critical points of contact with Cafcass. The first one is a safeguarding phone call before your first hearing, where Cafcass will speak to both parties on the phone to establish that the children are safe and well, and that at least one responsible parent is looking after them, and to get a quick determination of the disagreements between the parents. Secondly, it's at the first hearing, where Cafcass will speak to both parents independently and will establish more information, give more consideration to any safeguarding issues, will give some consideration and recommendations around interim contact, and then decide whether a Section 7 report is needed for a fuller report. If they're preparing a Section 7 report, you get your third point of contact, which is where they're likely to actually then either visit or speak to both parents, including speaking to the children and any other third-party agency that they think is appropriate. Then fourthly, at the second hearing, known as dispute resolution appointment, where they publish their Section 7 report with the recommendations, and they have a chat with both parents independently as to what can be agreed. And if things aren't agreed, then of course you go to a final hearing. I just want to point out, for those who are daft enough to be paying thousands of pounds for lawyers, at no point will Cafcass speak to your lawyer. Having a lawyer is entirely pointless. Your lawyer cannot in any way influence the recommendations of Cafcass whatsoever. So, when talking to Cafcass, the worst approach, almost always, is to start making demands, demanding Cafcass what you want, forcibly telling them that you know what's in the best interests of your children and what's in your best interests. Also, a really poor approach is to sling mud at the other parent. Little Johnny sits in front of the TV all day. Little Johnny isn't washed and showered properly. When little Johnny comes back to my residence or comes to my residence, little Johnny is unsettled and is not in a routine. Because that just makes you look like you're the child in the playground. And perhaps the greatest sin of all is telling Cafcass that you are entitled to see your children, because in the UK family courts, you have no rights to see your children. It's your child's right to have a relationship with both parents. The reality is that Cafcass are not really interested in your opinions. They don't take sides, and they only see the disputes through the eyes and the narrative of the child. So with that in mind, what is the best approach? It's actually very simple. Rather than making demands about what you want, engage with Cafcass, understanding that they are the professionals, and speak to them like an adult, like a responsible parent. Ask them what they consider to be an appropriate interim contact order, for example. Ask them how they think contact can be carefully progressed. Tell them that you want to work both with Cafcass, the courts, and the other parent. Ask them what may be appropriate from the perspective of the child, not your adult parent perspective. And of course, if you do have safeguarding concerns, tell Cafcass that you'd like to mention them, but ask Cafcass if they think they are relevant. If they are relevant, you can then ask Cafcass what the possible options are. Ask Cafcass whether the concerns you've raised are something that the courts may be able to give directions on. But if Cafcass say that the concerns may not be relevant or are not safeguarding issues, live with it, accept it, get on with it. Concentrate on building positive co-parenting relations. Don't continue the mudslinging. So the secret of talking to Cafcass is to be respectful, to let them know that you understand their job and the importance of their role. Show Cafcass that you want to work with them and not against them. And ditch your solicitor, who may all too often be just stirring the pot of acrimony and conflict for financial gain and pushing you into combat. So contact me today to talk about a different path, that we can help you through the family courts and consider the path of light rather than the path of hate. So I'll be looking forward to your call and speaking to you.